Hey everybody, I'm Philip.
And I'm Justin.
And together we are Pajamas. And today we are going to do a special video, a surprise video. Justin has no idea what it is. Now, some setup. I saw this post on Facebook and I screenshot every single, it was one long post, but I screenshot each individual part and then made that into a video so we could just watch the video and react to it. I thought that'd be way easier. So, a little bit of legwork, but hopefully it's worth it. As this video is called, What is Love?
That's a good question.
What does love mean to 4 to 8-year-old kids? Slow down for a few minutes to read this. A group of professional people posed this question to a group of 4 to 8-year-olds. What does love mean? So instead of what is love mean? Kind of same thing. The answers they got were broader, deeper, and more profound than anyone could have imagined. You ready to see what they said?
I'm ready.
When my grandmother got arthritis, she couldn't bend over and paint her toenails anymore. So my grandfather does it for her all the time, even when his hands got arthritis too. That's love. Rebecca AJ.
That is sweet. That he's willing to go through pain, that he already is suffering from arthritis, but still doing this for her.
Yeah, like a bit of selflessness. Like I have my own physical limitations and Justin helps me with stuff. And it kind of reminded me of that. When you just do selfless things for the person you love because you want to help them.
It's relatable.
Yes. When someone loves you, the way they say your name is different. You just know that your name is safe in their mouth. Billy, age 4.
The name is safe in their mouth. What does it mean? Safe from being misused?
I think you're taking it too literally, maybe. I thought this is probably one of my favorites of all of them. I thought it was very sweet. Like it's not like the physical act of painting toenails, but I think overall just like the way I say your name is different than the way your mom would say your name. Or one of your friends would say your name. Your name is safe in my mouth because
it will not be insulted. It will not be used to deride or to humiliate. Is that it? Sort of.
It's just it's like putting an emotional feeling on the name. So just like you're safe with me, your name is safe with me too. But it could also be literal as well. Like, I'm not going to put you down or curse you or, anything like that. I think this is very awesome. I think Billy is ahead of his time as far as mentally. That's so good. But anyone watching out there, what do you think this means when he says that your name is safe in their mouth? Because I think it's just so sweet.
And I think that is because a person's name is their essence, and since a person's mouth, a person's speech, the one that one uses to communicate, will not be misused in a way that it shouldn't be.
Right, yeah. Love is when a girl puts on perfume and a boy puts on shaving cologne and they go out and smell each other. Carl, age 5.
Oh, that's
sweet.
An interesting way of putting it.
Yeah, this isn't relatable to me at all. Mostly because I don't think perfumes and colognes smell good, and I'm allergic to them.
I think that they smell wonderful, but at the same time, it isn't really the point of wearing them simply for the sake of smelling. It's supposed to be enticing.
Well, I still think that a person's pheromone is much more enticing, and that's actually a secondary sex characteristic. So it's like a natural, your natural smell to me is better than any perfume or cologne or well.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Love is when you go out to eat and give somebody most of your french fries without making them give you any of theirs. Chrissy, age 6.
I see that this person's view of love is very one-sided.
Yes. It reminded me of people who'd be like, oh, that's so romantic, that's so sweet. And I thought the same exact thing. I was like, well, it is kind of a romantic gesture, but it's also...
It doesn't give the other person an opportunity to...
is it ever reciprocated?
Yes.
Is my question. If it is, then awesome. You're in a very healthy relationship. Well, as far as sharing food goes. But I thought the same exact thing. That was very one-sided. It's still sweet, but from an adult perspective, it's kind of Love is what makes you smile when you're tired. Terry, age 4. I would agree with that.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Even when one is at one's nadir of emotions, this other person can still bring about some sort of joy into that person's life.
Yeah. Which I think we've both done for each other on multiple occasions, so.
Yes.
Love is when my mommy makes coffee for my daddy, and she takes a sip before giving it to him to make sure the taste is okay. Danny, age 8.
That is sweet.
Or she's being greedy and just wants to steal some of the coffee.
Well, love can work both ways. That when one loves somebody, it isn't purely for the other person, it's because how that other person makes one feel.
I know, it was a joke.
There's no such thing as a completely selfless love.
Right, yeah.
Because one loves this other person because of how that person makes one feel. And without that, well, then the love is pointless.
Right, yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's cyclical.
So it should
be, at least.
It should work for both of the lovers, and not simply all for one and none for the other.
Right, exactly. Again, as we said, it's not one-sided. Interesting enough, we have that same discussion about another food one. Not kind of funny. Love is what's in the room with you at Christmas if you stop opening presents and just listen. Bobby, age 7.
Because what you have is already what you want, the other person.
Well, I think they're extending love not to just being like relationship love. This is also like family love, like love. But yes, it can apply to a couple or a family. But I just imagine from this child's point of view, it's just when they're young and opening presents and they just stop opening presents and they listen or see what's in the room with them. That's love.
Yes, that it isn't. I think that what is trying to be said is that it isn't the material things that we have that make us who we are. It's the people that we share our lives with that make our lives.
Right. If you want to learn to love better, you should start with a friend who you hate. Nika, age 6. We need a few million more Nikas on this planet. I don't know if I agree with this one. I appreciate the sentiment, and it's sweet from a 6-year-old, but I have different ideology of love and hate and friendship and all that. Like, I think I love just fine, and I don't need to try and love someone that I don't like. Because if I don't like you, there's a reason I don't like you, and I don't need to do that to love better. I love just fine. They're not synonymous. People think they are.
I thought something similar when I thought this. I immediately wondered, define love. And well, that person actually tried to do that. But at the same time, love and like and respect were pushed together into one group, despite that they're 3 different things.
Right, yeah, exactly.
And it actually doesn't really make sense. Actually, the sentence contradicts itself. That with a friend who you hate, well, if you hate that friend, then that friend isn't really a friend.
Love is when you tell a guy you like his shirt, then he wears it every day. Noelle, age 7.
I understand this one, because he wants to impress this other person.
Well, yeah, it's someone that you like tells you they like something that you have, you're going to want to,
Yes, show it off more so that person will start to pay more attention to you.
Or it's a boost to your self-esteem and confidence.
That's also something. And you said that there's one style of jeans that I look excellent in. And well, from that I've tried to get that exact same style.
Yeah.
As much as possible.
Oh, yeah.
I want you to love what you see.
I do.
One way to extend this.
Yeah. Love is like a little old woman and a little old man who are still friends even after they know each other so well. Tommy, age 6.
A platonic love.
Yeah.
That survived the ages. There are many people who have friends that come and go, sunshine friends.
Yeah.
The ones that are only there when things are all right. But then when they're actually needed, they are nowhere to be found.
Yep. Or when you can do something for them, or they can get something from you. When you can't do that thing anymore, they just stop talking to you. Not that I would know about that.
But with this one, this friendship was able to withstand the test of time. Their good times and their bad times.
Yeah, I can relate to this one. But, friendship isn't tolerating someone or feeling like you have to be around them because you've known each other for so long. And I wish I had known that when I was, 16. So it's one of the lessons I wish I'd learned a lot earlier. I think my life would have been very different if I found my own voice in standing up for myself, my own self-esteem. But friendship is a very weird thing.
Well, one way to find out if someone is really a friend or not, add 10 years later. Is that person still available when you need that person?
Right. Yeah.
Does that person actually still enjoy your company? And vice versa.
During my piano recital, I was on a stage, and I was scared. I looked at all the people watching me and saw my daddy waving and smiling. He was the only one doing that. I wasn't scared anymore. Cindy, age 8.
That's a very sweet one. Love helps to give confidence to others. this person is cheering for you, wanting you to succeed.
That's what love should be. There should be somebody that actively has your back and wants to see you triumph.
Yes.
Because I say, like, if you win, we win. Is a kind of like, and if I win, we win. Like, you know, it's a team thing. It's not like the same with families. You know, if you watch out for each other, if you succeed, we all succeed.
We also want to make sure that all of us can be the best that we can be. If we see potential, and we want that potential to blossom.
Right, yeah. My mommy loves me more than anybody. You don't see anyone else kissing me to sleep at night. Claire, age 6.
I actually see this as something very special. The bond between mother and child.
Love is when mommy gives daddy the best piece of chicken. Another food-related one. Elaine, age 5. I can relate to this one, mostly because I always give you the larger portion of the meal.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. As long as you aren't depriving yourself too much at your detriment.
Oh no, I have fat reserves. Plenty of fat reserves.
You'll be all right.
For, 6-7 months if I don't eat. I think I can just live off of this. Love is when mommy sees daddy smelly and sweaty and still says he is handsomer than Robert Redford. Chris, age 7. Back when I could do the bike and yoga and stuff, I would, and I'd be all sweaty and gross, and you'd still want to hug me anyway. Even though I know you don't like filth.
Yes, but it's you.
Love is when your puppy licks your face even after you left him alone all day. Marianne, age 4.
If I replace it with a cat, then I can understand it.
Oh yes, when you go back home to visit, you always send pictures of the kitties loving on you.
Yes. They're very affectionate.
Not a dog person, personally, but it's still cute that a, 4-year-old. That's a 4-year-old's idea of love, or love is or can be. That's just cute. I know my older sister loves me because she gives me all her old clothes and has to go out and buy new ones.
Or she doesn't want them anymore and is using that as an excuse to have to go and get new ones that she actually wants to get.
Exactly. Cute. It's from a 4-year-old, Lauren, age 4. From an adult perspective, it's like,
It's suspect.
Yeah. But like you made the noise that I was like, you go, so it like matched my face. When you love somebody, your eyelashes go up and down and little stars come out of you. What an image. Karen, age 7.
I can see that. It's
Justin.
Yes, what she's trying to do is try to express that feeling of love within oneself. That yes, her eyelashes are blinking.
Oh yeah, that hurts my eyes.
And stars are coming out of her.
Now I see stars. Ow. Love is when mommy sees daddy on the toilet and she doesn't think it's gross. Mark, age 6. I don't know, like, I don't want you in there when I'm doing that. And I would think that it would be the same for you.
It's not that it's a disgusting thing, or right, maybe it sort of is considering that what's going on, but it's one that it's a private thing.
Yeah, there's a door on the bathroom for a reason. Interesting though, from Mark, age 6. You really shouldn't say I love you unless you mean it. But if you mean it, you should say it a lot. People forget. Jessica, age 8. I like that one.
Yes, I have noticed that sometimes that phrase is used too often.
Yep.
But at the same time, if it's meant, then it should be used as often as it's needed. Because sometimes people need to actually hear that. Right.
Yeah, like your quota of I love you might not be someone else's necessary quota of it. Since we all have different emotional, needs and stuff. Like I remember a few years back, I was hanging out with some friends. I think we were playing Pokemon Go. You might have been there too. And as we were leaving, a friend who I don't see in real life anymore, we were leaving. She yelled out, "I love you," and I was just like, because my friends never really said that to me. Like I've said in other videos, I just think there's something wrong with me why I can't keep and have friends. It meant like I kind of got a little choked up. I was like, oh, and I said I love you, back. It was just nice for someone that I wasn't romantically involved with to say it, because I was like, okay, because it's kind of like how like your name feels safe on someone's mouth. Like I love you sounds differently from a friend than it would a lover. And having a friend say I love you was just, it was nice. I guess it was just nice.
But I do see that if it's said too often, then it can become trivialized and it won't have the same impact as it should.
Oh yeah. It can become less impactful and meaningless like anything else. So yeah. let's say your favorite food is pizza. If you have pizza every single day, eventually you're just not going to be liking pizza much anymore.
In fact, I'd get tired of it and not even want to see it, let alone eat it.
That's how it was for me with ramen after college, because I ate so much ramen. And the final one. The winner was a 4-year-old child whose next door neighbor was an elderly gentleman who had recently lost his wife. Upon seeing the man cry, the little boy went into the old gentleman's yard, climbed onto his lap, and just sat there. When his mother asked what he had said to the neighbor, the little boy said, "Nothing. I just helped him cry."
Catharsis.
Yes. Which I've discussed quite a bit on this channel, because a lot of my videos are that, especially when it pertains to my condition and stuff I'm going through. Sometimes the videos are just cathartic because I can verbally and share them and stuff. And the hope is that, if someone else is going through something similar, then they can watch and be like, okay.
Sometimes to help someone, one doesn't necessarily have to say or do anything. One simply needs to be there.
Yeah, just be. Yep. What I don't like is that there was a winner. I don't think this should have been a contest. The winner, that didn't sit well with me when I first read this. It's cute. It's not my favorite, personally. I think my favorite is probably still the one where your name feels safe in their mouth, because that speaks to me on a certain level. This is very sweet. Very, very sweet. And I commend the 4-year-old who did that. And I'm sure the older gentleman who lost his wife really appreciated it, because that's awful. But I don't think there should have been a winner.
Well, with this one, it seemed like an unnecessary detail, because it doesn't seem to expand upon the story itself.
Yeah, exactly.
It's very random.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or even why make it a competition? Because that's such a weird concept to put into a child's mind. Give us your idea of love, and the winner. So you have to have the right idea of love. And if you don't, you don't win. I don't know. Psychologically, that's just really kind of messed up. The problem is we are looking for someone to grow old together, while the secret is to find someone to stay a child with. C. Bukowski. I agree with that 100%. Just to be clear, this is not from a child. This is from whoever C. Bukowski is. An end quote to wrap up the overall idea of what love could be in this person's mind should be. People want to grow old with someone, but maybe you should be with someone you want to stay young with. As I've told you before, one of my mottos in life is grow but never grow up. I still, as you know, I use my imagination every day in some capacity, and I've never gotten rid of that childlike wonder as far as thinking and discovering and yearning to learn new things. Everyone's going to grow. Well, hopefully everyone's going to grow old if you have a long life, but there's a certain complacency. It's like a stopgap that you give yourself. Imagine like a wine bottle, and you're learning, and then you just go bloop, and you think you're an adult now. Why, you don't need to learn anything else? I'm like, nah, fill it up. Bottle's full. Fill it up. Next bottle. Fill it up. Fill up. See? It works.
I also see this as saying that it's someone that you can actually be yourself with.
Yeah.
With some people, one may feel a need to pretend to be something that they're not, but with someone that truly loves you, then you don't have to put on an act for them.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like when I was playing Dragon Age, you were watching me. And people wore the masks. It's like if you're out in society, you're wearing a mask. When you go to work, you're wearing a mask. You're your employee, Justin.
The persona.
Yeah, exactly. But when you come home or you're with people you're comfortable with, you can put the mask down and be who you actually are. So that is a video of what does love mean as answered by 4 to 8-year-olds. I saw this on Facebook, I said, and I thought it'd be a really cool, interesting topic to go over with and talk about with you in particular, because I know some of them overlapped with our own relationship. Like the doing things for someone and the food thing, just. And
it also shows that one should not be too quick to discredit children. They can actually be more profound than their age, from a sociological point of view, what society would consider their immature age to be.
Right, yeah.
It can actually be much more profound and mature than an adult can be.
Yeah, some of these are way more intelligent, as you said, profound, than I would hear from a lot of adults who aren't either one. All right, anything else?
No.
All right, well, that wraps up this video. As always, I don't have a fancy outro, so I'll simply say thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.
Goodbye.